We are live here tonight on the Donut Box Racing League's YouTube channel for the Dealer's Choice 250 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Welcome in. The guys are wrapping up practice, about a little over a minute left tonight. If I take a look here, last week we saw a bit of a controversial ending at Martinsville that led to Jordan Scherer taking home the win. John McIntyre second, Christopher Bishop third. Tony Osborne, Ben Madden wrapped up the top five. David Mayo, Christian Taylor, Tyler Smith, Bill Sleep, Cam Patterson rounded out the top 10. Cam Patterson still holds on to the points lead. He's got a fairly substantial gap to second place. Cody Moore, about 73 points. We take a look at our practice leaderboard. Scott Ford Jr. on top of the board right now. Cam Patterson a couple tenths behind. These two have, I think this is the third week in a row now that these two are the fastest in practice, but this is the first time that the rules are reversed. Scott Ford on top, Cam Patterson in second place. A couple of interesting facts about Las Vegas when it comes to the Donut Box Racing Leagues. If we were racing trucks tonight, Cody Moore would definitely be a favorite. He's won both times that the Donut Box Truck Series went to Las Vegas. And last season when Xfinity was here, Shane Fuller took home the win. So we'll see if Shane can go back-to-back here at Vegas. But first, we'll watch Cam Patterson take his qualifying laps. I believe these drivers are going to have 5 sets of tires for tonight, and they'll be able to make it 28 to 30 laps on fuel. So you'll have your usual pit stops during the stages, and potentially we might see 2 pit stops in the last stage for fuel, pending no cautions. Several drivers on the track right now. Cam Patterson, Justin Bell, Frank Warner in that number 9 machine. Tony Osborne, the family man, took home a win in the late models on Monday night. Congratulations to him. David Mayo's out there hitting some laps, as well as Rick Wilmot, the mad cow himself. Logan Festchischen is making his qualifying attempt along with Cody Moore and Chris Taylor. Cam Patterson, of course, with the first time on the board, 31.055. Christian Taylor about 2 tenths off of that time. You see Cam Patterson go through turns 3 and 4 for his second lap. We'll see if he's able to improve on that time. And he does by about 1/100th. And he hits a sick drift at the end to finish it off. Right now, Christian Taylor in the 96, sitting in second place. He's completed his laps. Logan Festchischen sitting in third right now. He's coming out of turn 4 and hits the wall. So his time will not count. Cody Moore finishes his qualifying attempt. He moves up into second place, about 4/100ths off Cam Patterson's time, and Justin Bell has moved up to third. You see now the 42 Chris Bishop hits the track along with the 57 Shane Fuller. 62 Scott Ford Jr. and the 64 Bill Sleep all making their qualifying attempts right now. Bill Sleep's current time puts him in 9th place. Scott Ford Jr. takes over the 6th spot with 1 lap to go. Across the stripe, Bill Sleep able to move into 8th place. Scott Ford Jr. across the stripe. He's able to move up into your top 3. Takes that spot from Justin Bell with a 31.211. Shane Fuller's first lap puts him in 7th. We'll see if his second lap he's able to improve any. Good to see Shane back. I think he's missed the last week or two. Across the stripe. Shane Fuller actually a little bit slower on his second lap, so he'll stay in 8th. Andrew Lewis was able to move up into the 4th position with his lap. And as Christopher Bishop crosses the stripe, he is going to move up into 8th place, taking that spot from Shane Fuller. A couple more cars hitting the track. You got the 23, Tyler Smith. He just finished his second lap. He's going to take the 8th spot now. These guys fighting hard for 8th. The 04 Mark Parkhurst missed last week with some tech issues. But he's back on the track tonight, hoping to continue his good season so far. Even with missing last week and getting provisional points, he still sits 3rd in the standings. His first lap puts him up into 6th place. We'll see if he can improve on that here on lap number 2 as he gets out of turn 4. Coming to the line, what do we got? New pole sitter Mark Parkhurst takes over the top spot with a 31.028. Looking through the drivers here, seeing if there's anybody who hasn't qualified. The Mad Australian Ben Madden yet to qualify. And it looks like he seems to be the last one to qualify here. My math is telling me that I can see 16 drivers in the standings, but that there's 18 options here, and I don't know who the other one is that hasn't qualified. But anyways, let's talk to who we can only presume is going to be our pole sitter tonight, Mr. Mark Parkhurst. Hey Mark, it's Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, you missed last week and you come back strong, sitting on pole. How's it feel?
Pretty good, but I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I missed last week due to some computer issues, and I'm hoping they're fixed this week, so we'll see what happens here.
Absolutely. You've been having a really strong season so far, sitting 3rd in points, and you come out here and get the pole position, so we'll be looking forward to seeing you out there again.
Alright, yeah, this is one of my better tracks, so I've had this one circled on the calendar since I signed up.
Alrighty. We'll be looking forward to it, and I wish you luck.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That was the 04 Mr. Mark Parkhurst. Yet to find a win yet, but he's definitely been a contender in most of the races we've had so far this season. I've received word that both the 38 Cam Patterson and the 33 Ben Madden will be serving 2-lap holds at the beginning of this race due to some shenanigans last week. But we've got about 2 minutes left to go here. Until they start gridding up these cars. I'll be back with you shortly to do the grid walk. As you see the transition there, see if we can get a good view from the track at what these drivers are going to be looking at here. As we're going to be watching this race as the sun is setting. Here in probably the first couple laps of the race, the lights will cut on. And we'll be going into night mode. As they begin to roll off, you see the 38 dropping to the end. That's going to make your front row. Let me find a good view here. Front row is going to be the 04 Mark Parkhurst and the 62 Scott Ford Jr. Row 2 is going to be Cody Moore, Justin Bell. Row 3, Andy Lewis, Logan Fesch-Chisholm. Row 4 is going to be Christian Taylor, Christopher Bishop. Row 5, going to see Tyler Smith and David Mayo. Row 6, you're going to have Shane Fuller and Frank Warner. Row 7 is going to be Bill Sleep and Rick Wilmot. And then by themselves, single file, you're going to have the number 2, John McIntyre, the number 10, Tony Osborne, number 33, Ben Madden, and the number 38, Cam Patterson at the tail of the field serving those penalties. We're going to have one more lap before we get green here so everybody can get settled into their spots. We'll take a listen into these cars rolling around here at the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I don't know about you guys, but Las Vegas is definitely one of my favorite tracks in the sim. It's always a load of fun coming here. Definitely appreciate everybody that has tuned in before this thing's even gotten started. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to be able to find the streams here for the Xfinity Series and then the videos for the Cup Series, hit that subscribe button. As the field rolls through turns 3 and 4. Lights are off on the pace car. They'll be going green this time by. And the pace car is off. Mark Parkhurst leading them to the green flag for the first time tonight in the Dealer's Choice 250. Green flag is out. Parkhurst gets a good start. Cody Moore able to follow him on the bottom. And those two are going to take the first and second spots fairly easily. Too wide the rest of the way. There you see Scott Ford Jr. getting a good run on the outside lane. He's going to take second now away from the 88. Cody Moore's usual strategy when it comes to these races, he wants to save the tires so that way he can still be there at the end of the stage. Parker's going to lead lap 1. You see both the 33 and 38 pulling into their boxes to serve their 2-lap holds. Mark Parker, Scott Ford Jr. checking away from the rest of the field right now. Andy Lewis has moved up into your 3rd spot with Cody Moore right behind. Side by side behind him, you got Justin Bell, Christian Taylor. Those two have gotten into some scuffles before. Looks like Bell's going to be able to get that spot. Mark Parker, Scott Ford throwing down early. Ford's looking to the inside out of turn 2. Battle for the lead 3 laps in. You got him getting sideways back in the back. Justin Bell getting out of line. Ford able to make the pass, but does the 0-4 go for the crossover? He's not able to get it done. New leader is the 62, Scott Ford Jr. Mark Parkhurst going to hold down that 2nd spot. Andy Lewis in 3rd. Cody Moore 4th. Logan Festchishin up to 5th now. Then you got side-by-side action behind. Tyler Smith comfortably in 6th. Side-by-side behind, still Christian Taylor, Justin Bell. Definitely some fun, hard racing so far for these guys. Ford and Parkhurst, they're not holding anything back. They're going for it all right here off the bat. We take a look now at your battle for 5th. You got Tyler Smith, Cody Moore, Justin Bell, Christian Taylor, Shane Fuller in kind of a train here. Of course, Ford, Parkhurst, Lewis, and Festchishin have kind of established themselves in 1st through 4th. Tyler Smith trying to hold on to that 5th spot right now. Oh, you see the 88, Cody Moore getting a little loose there. Everybody able to make it around him. He's going to lose several spots from that. Let's see if we can go take another look at that real quick. See him coming to turn 1 here. A little bit of contact from the 7 of Bell. Moore able to save it and keep going. We go back live. See the 88 of Moore. Now on the bumper there, Chris Bishop. We check back out front. Ford and Parker still keeping it a close battle for the lead. Couple tenths separating these guys. As we're just shy of 10 laps into the night's race. Stages are going to be at lap 45 and 95 tonight. Ford and Parkhurst holding down first and second. Lewis under no struggle for third, and same for Festchischen in fourth. Although Tyler Smith is beginning to creep up on the 78 now. Trying to take that fourth spot. Bell's kind of in a world of his own right now in sixth place. And the 88 Cody Moore has a slew of cars behind him. Moore in seventh right now. Shane Fuller eighth. Ninth is Christopher Bishop, and 10th looks like it's going to be, hold on. 9th is going to be John McIntyre, and 10th is going to be Chris Bishop. I knew something looked a little funky there. Of course, these standings aren't fancy enough to auto-update when a position change happens on track. See the 96 of Taylor now, extending it in on the bottom underneath Bill Sleep. That's for 11th place. Not able to make the pass done through that corner. He's going to fall back in line behind the 64 there. Cam Patterson right now, your fastest car on track currently, and has the fastest lap of the entire race. So if he's able to make up his 2-lap deficit, he's definitely someone to worry about. According to the lap times, he's definitely quick tonight. But him and Ben Madden are back towards the back right now. Looks like Tyler Smith and Logan Festchischen battling a little bit. Smith was able to take that spot, but the 78 battles right back and takes it back. Your battle for 4th place here. Smith using that high line, that Larson line around this speedway. Able to get that good run off the corner. We'll keep an eye on this and see if he's able to put it to good use. Mark Parkhurst up in second. Still staying right on Scott Ford Jr.'s butt. And Tyler Smith and Logan Festchischen again battling for 4th here. Across the stripe, it was Festchischen in front, but not by much. He's able to cover that spot back up. The 9, Frank Warner, he is struggling a bit here early, 16 laps in. Number 9, Frank Warner, sitting in 16th right now. The only 2 cars below him in the standings are the 2 cars that served penalties earlier on in the race. Parkhurst has the lead now within a 10th. He's able to get side by side here with Ford Jr. into turn one. We'll see if he's going to be able to make the pass for the lead. They come out of the corner side by side. Ford Jr., though, going to have the momentum of the high side, and he's going to take the spot back over for now. These two have definitely been the class of the field here early. They've got about a 2-second gap back to Andrew Lewis now in third place. Take a look here at 7th place. Cody Moore holding off Shane Fuller right now. Moore, of course, starting third. He finds himself back in 7th. As far as the biggest mover goes, I believe that's going to be the two of John McIntyre. Started back in 15th. He's driven his way up to 9th place here early. He was your fastest car on track last time around. Parkhurst gets another run on Scott Ford Jr. now. Parker's going to try the high side this time. Get a really good run here out of the corner. We'll see if he's going to make another move for the lead. He does look low. Looks underneath the 62 through turns 3 and 4. Again, just doesn't have the momentum that that high side has. If they come across the stripe, Parkhurst has the lead. But can he hold on to it, or can the 62 recover and take it back? While I've been blabbering about nothing, the 88 Cody Moore, he's already come in for his pit stop, so he's topped off his fuel tank, as well as the 23 Tyler Smith. We see the 96 Christian Taylor making his way to pit road. And we see the 04, he's extending his lead now to about 0.3 of a second over Scott Ford Jr. Andrew Lewis still holding down third place with no one around him. Logan Feschischen sitting in 4th. He's also all alone. It's a little bit closer for 5th place. Shane Fuller has Justin Bell right behind him. Number 9, Frank Warner, he's coming down pit road now. Keeping an eye on the pit stop times, seeing if anyone ends up taking tires during stage 1 to try to get some stage points. Justin Bell comes down pit road now. Parkhurst continues to increase that margin of his lead. Been completely green flag so far. Definitely a good start to tonight's race. Seen some couple of cars get loose, but everybody able to keep things going. We'll have to wait and see if this thing's going to stay green till the stage. Rick Wilmot making his way onto pit road. he might be our first driver to take 4 tires. And yes, he has taken 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on that number 40 Mad Cow machine. Number 2, John McIntyre, comes into his box. Looks like it's going to be fuel only for the 2. First car in your top 5 to come down pit road is going to be Logan Festchischen. Christopher Bishop comes down pit road behind him. You also see the 64 Bill Sleep and the 38 Cam Patterson make their way onto pit road. Parkhurst continues to lead as he's about to cross the stripe. Next lap for lap number 30. Tony Osborne into his pit box now. I believe the 78 Logan Festchischen may have taken 4 fresh tires. It's going to be fuel only for the 10. As both Scott Ford Jr. and Andrew Lewis hit pit road here. There's only 3 guys left to pit. It's the 04 Mark Parkhurst, 57 Shane Fuller, and the 35 David Mayo still yet to come down pit road. Parkhurst is coming in this time, as well as the 57 Shane Fuller. And David Mayo in the 35. So after these stops, your pit cycle will be complete. All drivers will have enough fuel to make it to the end of stage number 1. As far as fresh tires go, it looks like you've got the 38 Cam Patterson, 64 Bill Sleep, the 40 of Rick Wilmot, and the 78 of Logan Festchischen, all taking tires. Parkhurst looks like he took tires as well. 15.2 second pit stop for him. Maybe looking at it as a way to cement getting hopefully 10 stage points at the end of this 45 laps here. It's going to let the 88 of Cody Moore take the lead over here across the stripe. You saw Tyler Smith get into the wall there slightly out of the corner. Smith sitting in second place, and Parkhurst comes out of pits. He was in third across the stripe. He's already in second and flying up on Cody Moore. He's going to make the pass very easily here to take back the lead. If I'm Parkhurst here, I know I can take it fairly easily and just save up these tires, because most of the guys that took 4 fresh tires are a lot farther back. Closest one being Logan Festchischen, who is about 2.6 seconds back from our leader. Cody Moore going to hold on to that second place. Andrew Lewis back into third. Logan Festchischen makes the pass on Scott Ford and Tyler Smith. Moves up into 4th place. Smith back to 5th. Scott Ford back to 6th. 57 Shane Fuller in 7th. Number 2, John McIntyre, your 8th place driver. Then you have Justin Bell in 9th, and Christopher Bishop rounds out the top 10. Bit of a battle for second brewing now between the 88 and the 08. neither driver with fresh tires. It's just a straight up battle here. It looks like the 08 is trying his darndest to win. Take over. I apologize. The 78 of Logan Fishchishin has taken over second place. This is your battle for third here, and Andrew Lewis has taken back that third spot and moves Cody Moore back to fourth. Lewis looking good on those old tires. Let's go ahead and check out this race from our fan cam. See what the fans are seeing from the stands out of these drivers. As we're not going to be far off from a nice, beautiful Las Vegas sunset out here in the desert. Logan Fishchishin in the 78 has been cutting into Mark Parkhurst's lead. Slowly but surely. There's about an 8-second gap back to third place right now. You can really see the old tires versus the new tires. First through fifth place, single file. Although Shane Fuller is trying to make his way up into the top 5. David Mayo being scored a lap down currently. Not sure if he ended up getting a pit road penalty or something of those sorts. But everybody's just taking it easy here as we get towards the end of stage 1. And I myself try not to fall asleep. Just keeping it real, I am extremely tired right now. But we're here for some good racing. And I'll be awake to the end of this thing as you see the 57 Shane Fuller makes the dive and makes the pass on Scott Ford, and he finds himself up into 5th place now. Fuller may in fact be the quickest car on old tires right now. I don't know if he's going to be able to make up a whole second on the 88 of Cody Moore. As Mark Parkhurst makes his way onto the back stretch now. About a 2-second advantage over the 78 Logan Fishchishin. I don't think it's a question right now that Parkhurst is going to win stage 1 and that Logan Festischen is going to be in second place. Things getting a little bit interesting once you get to third. Only about a half a second separate Andrew Lewis and Cody Moore. Then it's a bit farther of a gap back to Shane Fuller. The 40, Rick Wilmot, just moved up into stage point earning position. He moves up into 10th place now. He's going to look to gain another spot here. But Mark Parkhurst has crossed the stripe and has won stage 1. Logan Festischen going to take second place in the stage. Andy Lewis third. Cody Moore fourth. Shane Fuller finishes out your stage top 5. And then you've got the 62 Scott Ford Jr., the 2 John McIntyre, the 42 Christopher Bishop, the 40 Rick Wilmot, and the 23 Tyler Smith round out the top 10 in stage number 1. And with that, we're going to let these guys go through their pit stops, and we're going to have ourselves a quick break. As these drivers come towards the stripe, I imagine they'll be choosing this time. Yes, they will be. Not sure what exactly the choose line is, but it looks like everybody was able to make it clear what lane they were choosing, and that's going to put row 1 being Mark Parkhurst, Cody Moore. Row 2, the 78 Logan Fish and the 57 Shane Fuller. Row 3, you're going to have Andrew Lewis and I gotta be honest, I have no clue who was the outside there. Let's get a closer look. It's going to be Andrew Lewis, Scott Ford Jr. Row 4 is going to be John McIntyre, Rick Wilmot. Row 5, Frank Warner and Christopher Bishop. 04 going to be the control car on this restart here in the Dealer's Choice 250. Make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. There on the old YouTubes. So we're getting ready to drop the green flag for the second time tonight here at Las Vegas. Pace cars off. 04 leads him into the restart zone. We are back green flag racing. Rick Wilmot is around. 40 cars spinning. The 42 is involved. Several cars involved, and we have our first caution on lap number 52. Let's go back and see if we can figure out what happened. Take a look from our drone cam here. They're going through turns 3 and 4. Wilmot touches the apron, comes up, doors the 96. At that point, he's already loose. In the 42 car, Chris Bishop, and the 33, Ben Madden. That's tough for Ben Madden. He's already 2 laps down. Now his car has significant damage. Let's go back and take one more look at that, shall we? Slow it down for you. You see the 40 car. He's coming through the corner. And I might have backed this up slightly too far, but you'll get the point. Okay, I backed it up way too far. Holy smokes, I didn't realize I hit reverse that hard. But when they're coming through 3 and 4 here, you see that 40 just gets a little bit too low. And with that banking change there between the track and the apron, the car just gets upset and sends him right up the track. And he goes immediately sideways upon that contact with the 96. So we'll go ahead and go back live here. See Wilmot pulling off of pit road now. You had several pit road takers there. You have Tyler Smith, Christopher Bishop, David Mayo, Justin Bell, Ben Madden all finding themselves on pit road under this yellow flag. Mark Parkhurst continuing to hold on to his lead. Definitely been the star of the show so far tonight in the 04. Putting together a heck of a race. Logan Fish in the 78. Not sleeping on him either. He's been in the top 5 all night so far. started in 8th place, has worked his way up to 2nd. 88 Cody Moore is exactly where he started. He started off the race in 3rd, and that's where he sits currently. MDM teammate behind him, Shane Fuller. He started off 11th, and he's up into 4th place now, so he's definitely your biggest mover so far. Speaking of making moves, let's go through a reminder of our top 10 challenge a bit undramatic this time around. Of course, Cam Patterson won the first top 10 challenge. And then we restarted it. After week 5, those were the top 10 drivers. And then after week 6, we were down to just 4. Andy Lewis, Frank Warner, Mike Poole, and Cam Patterson. And in general Cam Patterson fashion, he was the only one of these drivers to finish top 10 last week. So he took home yet another top 10 challenge prize. Of course, that means your drivers that finish top 10 tonight will be back in the running for a new top 10 challenge. We restart it every time. Probably once we hit the playoffs, that's probably when it'll be the last time we restart the top 10 challenge. So our drivers are getting back gridded. 0478, row 1, row 2, 57 and 88, row 3, 08 and 62. A little farther back, row 4 is going to be number 2, number 96. Row 5 is going to be the number 9 and number 10. We ride on board of Tony Osborne. As mentioned before, took home a win in the Donut Box Late Model Series Monday night. I took home a win Monday night in the Donut Box Cup Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Definitely a proud moment for myself. But we're getting ready to go back green one more time here. And Dealer's Choice 250 pace car back off. Green flag back out. Parkhurst gets a good launch. Looks like Cody Moore's going to be able to follow him right on through. Take over that second spot. Shane Fuller in the 57. Was thinking about making a move for 3rd place. Not going to do it. He's going to stay in 4th for just the minute. They're side by side behind him for 5th. That's Andrew Lewis and Scott Ford Jr. Ford able to take that spot, move up into the top 5. Rest of your top 10 is going to be Lewis, Taylor, Osborne, McIntyre, and Warner. Of course, the 04 on older tires and the 78, both on older tires. Cody Moore in the 88 did take tires last at pit stop. Actually, I lied to you. The 04 Mark Parkhurst is on older tires, but the 78 is on fresh tires under the last stage caution. He took tires during the stage and after. Of course, drivers able to make strategy choices like that with the extra tire set tonight. I got to say, Parkhurst, for having several laps on those tires, doing a really good job so far at holding on to the lead, but you begin to wonder how long that will last. Vestchishin now able to get beside the 04. He makes the pass fairly easily. For the first time tonight, new leader is going to be the 78, Logan Vestchishin. Cody Moore, Scott Ford Jr. side by side for 3rd. Shane Fuller, Andy Lewis side by side for 5th. Ford able to get that good run on the outside. He's going to take over the 2nd spot now from the 04. And he's going to immediately look for the lead. The 62 goes low through turns 3 and 4. They're going to go side by side across the stripe. The 62 going to have the slight advantage with yet another lead change here. Of course, Ford led early on in the race. Parkhurst was able to take the spot back over after starting on the pole. Fishishin not giving up easily, though. They go door to door into 3 and 4. 78's not ready to give up that lead. They're side by side once again across the stripe, and once again it's Ford with the slight advantage. Ford as in Ford Jr., not as in the Ford Mustang that Logan Fishishin is driving. Looks like the 62 able to cover up, but it looks like the 78's going to battle back on the inside now. We've got ourselves a dogfight for the lead here. Fishishin comes up to block the 62. The 62 just about wrecks the 78 there. Fishishin able to keep it together, keep it straight, and take the lead back over. That was almost a wreck in front of the whole field there. Andy Lewis now has made his way up into 3rd place. He's looking to try to get himself a piece of this action up front. Some really good racing so far here in stage 2. Got about 31 laps to go in the stage. Next stage break will be at lap 95. Cody Moore now fights back. He gets on the inside of Lewis for 3rd place. Fishishin still holding on to the lead, and they're still side by side for 3rd place behind them right now. Fishishin does move up across the track again in front of the 62. Now you got him 3 wide for 2nd behind Lewis, Moore, and Ford. The 78 not making friends out there early. Scott Ford probably thinking, you just made me lose 2 spots coming up to block like that. Not going to remember that too fondly. It's going to let Moore move up into 2nd. Lewis move up into 3rd. Ford all the way back to 4th now. And he's got Shane Fuller in the 57 looking underneath him now. Fuller looking to make his way into the top 4. And you see the 9 Frank Warner having early struggles in stage 1. He's now made his way up into 8th place. As they go side by side again for the lead, Cody Moore way up on the wall. Running that Larson line. He's going to take over the top spot. 88 Cody Moore to the lead. It's going to move Fishishin back to 2nd. Lewis still holds on to 3rd, and they're side by side behind him for 4th. Fuller and Ford duking it out. Shane Fuller, Scott Ford still side by side here. It's been about an entire lap. Neither driver willing to give up the spot just yet. But Moore is working on building that lead. He's up to about 0.6 of a second now over the 78. Fuller and Ford still side by side for your 4th spot. Fuller has the spot across the stripe. Not quite clear yet, though. You see the 96, Christian Taylor, behind them up into 6th place now. Tony Osborne 7th, Frank Warner 8th, John McIntyre 9th. You got to go a good ways back for 10th, Mark Parkhurst. Feeling those older tires after not taking a set at the finish of stage 1. Fuller was able to get the spot on Scott Ford Jr., and he's now looking to get up into 3rd place. He's got Andy Lewis to his outside now. And since we were so rudely interrupted by the previous yellow, let's go ahead and crank it up one more time. Some of our drivers making their way to pit road now. You got Cody Moore, Andy Lewis, Frank Warner all making their way into pits. It's going to let the 78 Logan Fish-Chisholm take the lead back over, but only for a brief moment. 57 Shane Fuller able to get by, take the top spot back. Some more pit stops this time around. You got Cam Patterson, Tony Osborne, Chris Taylor all coming into the pits. Cody Moore, Andrew Lewis, Frank Warner, all taken for fresh Goodyear tires during their pit stop. They'll be back on track looking fast. Looks like Christian Taylor also took 4 fresh tires, as well as Mark Parkhurst, Tyler Smith, and Bill Sleep, who pit earlier on in the run. And I did not notice because I am a terrible host. See the number 2 now, John McIntyre. He's going to go ahead and make his pit stop. 35, David Mayo also comes down. Definitely been a good show in here for the 57, Mr. Shane Fuller. The number 40, Rick Wilmot, makes his way onto pit road now. John McIntyre and David Mayo on those last pit stops as teams send it. They went fuel only. Of course, you got a group of cars here that have coming down to pit road now. You see Logan Fishtician, Scott Ford, Justin Bell. They all bring it down to pit road this time. It's going to make your last 2 drivers to pit, Shane Fuller, Christopher Bishop. You see the 62 and the 7 both taking tires. Number 78 having taken tires in stage 1. He's going to go fuel only. 57 Shane Fuller makes his way onto pit road. Leaving the 42, Chris Bishop is the only one on the track yet to pit. Looks like he's going to have to stay out one more lap because there's no way he's going to get down. Traffic to the inside. .42 Chris Bishop coming in hot. I'm not sure if he was able to get that thing slowed down enough. He came flying into pit road there, but that's going to give up the lead. Give the lead back to the 88 Cody Moore. He's got fresh tires on that machine and he is flying. But he's got the 04 Mark Parkhurst right behind him. I say right behind him kind of loosely. There's about a second and a half between those two. You got to go a good ways back to find third place Andy Lewis. He's about half a straightaway behind those two. And you see Tyler Smith there in 5th place farther back. Cam Patterson in that 38 car, he's still being shown 1 lap down at this point, so he's looking to get himself 1 more lap back and put himself into contention for this race. This is your closest battle on track right here between the 23 and the 57. You see them side by side right now. That's going to be for 4th place. Smith's been able to hold on to the spot so far. But honestly, I think Shane Fuller, his pit stop was 11.2 seconds. I'm not sure if he went fuel only, or if he might have taken right side tires or something like that. Either way, we've got about 7 laps to go in this stage, as the sun has almost fully set here in Las Vegas. The lights have officially come on. I see Danielle in the chat cheering on her hubby, Mr. Christian Taylor. Good to see you, Danielle. Christian's doing pretty good right now. He's sitting in 8th place right now, looking to take over the 7th spot. You can kind of see him there in the back of your screen there in that Caterpillar Toyota Camry. Fuller was able to get by Smith, and now so is Frank Warner. Fuller going to move up into 4th. Frank Warner cracks the top 5 for, I believe, the first time tonight in that number 9 Storm Motorsports Toyota. '88 Cody Moore with about a 2.5 second lead right now over the 04 of Mark Parkhurst. Andrew Lewis still holding down that 3rd place without much competition. He's about 6 seconds back, though, from Cody Moore. Shane Fuller already building a good gap to 4th. And then 5th, Frank Warner. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Scott Ford, Tyler Smith, Christian Taylor, Tony Osborne, Logan Fish-Chisholm. Go ahead and ride on board with your leader, Cody Moore. Scott Ford in the 62, he's your fastest on the track at the moment. He's gaining pretty quickly here on 4th place, Shane Fuller. But this here is the last lap of the stage. Cody Moore in the 88 has pretty much got this one in the bag here. Mark Parkhurst will come home 2nd, Andrew Lewis 3rd. Shane Fuller looks like he's going to be able to hold off Scott Ford Jr. and hold on to 4th place. Scott Ford in 5th. Frank Warner 6th, Christian Taylor 7th.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Tyler Smith 8th, Tony Osborne 9th. John McIntyre going to hold down that 10th spot. Cody Moore is your stage 2 winner here at Las Vegas. That'll do it for the stage breaks here tonight. 72 laps to go to get us to lap 167. If I'm still awake by then, we'll see. Definitely been a really good race so far for the 04. '96. Christian Taylor having some trouble, as well as the 7, Justin Bell. What is going on? We've got to go back and take a quick look at this. Sorry for the impromptu replay screen. So you see everybody catching the field, and Taylor just loses control, gets into the wall. See the 7 here of Bell, he does the same thing. He gets heavy damage. Those guys were just cooking it. Definitely not what you like to see as these drivers make their way onto pit road. We'll keep an eye on the race off of pit road. Right where that green cone is going to be the pit exit line. Moore wins the race. Looks like Frank Warner ended up coming out, or Parkhurst ended up second, Frank Warner third, I believe. Yes, Moore, Parkhurst, Warner. Your first 3 off pit road. Warner either taking fuel only or right side tires and fuel. It did not take 4 tires. So he'll get some track position out of that. Justin Bell now shown out of this race. The 96 Christian Taylor still on pit road fixing damage. And while I believe they will not be gridding up this time by, we will get a quick word with stage 2 winner, Cody Moore. Cody, it's Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you started off 3rd place and you fell back a bit in stage 1, but you bounced back here in stage 2 with the win, running that high side. How's the car feeling for you tonight?
It's getting better as the night goes on. The tire wear is massive here. That first stage, I was just trying to save tire, kind of see where it was going to be at, and it fell off in a different way than what was expected in the first stage. And then second stage, I decided to just take the set of tires because this has been a fairly clean race, and I think that the stage win will go farther. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking home the stage 2 win. You're going to be controlling the field here on the restart, and I'll go ahead and send you back now. Thank you.
Thank you much, sir.
That was the 88 Cody Moore. Xfinity Series Season 1 champion in the 88 car there. Missed a couple races, and now he's back, looking better than ever. As we hop up here to watch our start-finish line, I believe the choose line might be that white hash there just below the V. Moore chooses low, Parkhurst up high. Looks like everybody got through the lane change cleanly. Front row is going to be Cody Moore, a control car with Parkhurst to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Andy Lewis, Shane Fuller. Row 3, Scott Ford, Tyler Smith. Row 4, Tony Osborne, John McIntyre. Row 5, Logan Fistician, Christopher Bishop. I'm going to round out your top 10 here on this restart. Thanks to everybody tuned in watching this thing tonight. I probably sound like a zombie because I'm half asleep. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you work like a 12-hour day and then come home and eat a nice dinner that makes you just want to fall asleep, and then you have to try to get on the computer and broadcast a race for a couple more hours. Boy, am I going to sleep good tonight. Pace car is going to be off. We're going to hop up here and watch Cody Moore take the green flag here in the Dealer's Choice 250. 67 laps to go across the stripe. Moore gets a good start. You see Parkhurst and Lewis behind him side by side. Battle for second between those two. Lewis going to be able to take that spot over. You see Logan Fishishin farther back in the 78. He's making moves. He's trying to get by the 23 of Tyler Smith now. He's going to be able to make that pass happen. That puts the 78 into 7th place. Top 3, Moore, Lewis, Parkhurst. Fuller in 4th, and behind them you've got Tony Osborne, number 10. He makes his way to 5th. Fishishin going to follow him into 6th. Scott Ford falling back fast here. Tyler Smith gets into his door but holds it together. There's craziness happening in the back. I'm not even sure what's going on, but it looks like everybody's able to keep it together. Oh my gosh. What a start to the final stage. Scott Ford into the wall. We dip a little farther back. This is around 11th place here with John McIntyre. Cody Moore holding on to the lead at the moment. Andy Lewis holding on to second, but Mark Parkhurst looking to make his way back up into that second spot. Parkhurst, definitely one of the dominant drivers in stage 1. Seeing if he can get back up towards the front after a little bit of strategy during stage 2. Put him a little farther back in the field. Was able to bounce back well, though, and still get second place in stage 2. He dives to the inside of Andy Lewis now. Will he have the momentum off the corner? Lewis gets into the wall. Looked like the 88 of Moore got a little loose too. Parker's able to pick that spot up pretty easily. Parker's now sets his sights on the lead. Moore, Parkhurst, Lewis, Moore, Parkhurst, Lewis, Fuller. Osborne, your running order. Osborne trying to hold on to that 5th place spot out to Scott Ford Jr., but looks like the 62 car got the momentum, and he's going to take the 4th spot over and look to take over 3rd now from the 57 of Shane Fuller. Ford making good use of that fast high line. It's quick, but it does burn up tires. Ford Jr. going to move up into 4th place now. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Osborne, Smith, Fishishin, Bishop, Patterson. Cam Patterson now back on the lead lap. Finally bouncing back from his penalty at the start of the race. You see Ford Jr. getting in the wall a couple times there. That's going to let the 57 and potentially the 10 pass him. And we take a look back out front. The 04 Mark Parkhurst has made it the back bumper of the 88 of Cody Moore. He's going to see if he can get the pass done and get back up into the lead. But not able to just yet. I believe he's got Andy Lewis now to his outside. He does. We got a three-way battle for the lead here. Cody Moore holding on for now. But Parkhurst and Lewis are definitely there right on his tail. It's definitely been a clean race here out of the Donut Box Racing League's Xfinity Series. We've had one caution for a wreck so far. A couple incidents under pacing, but of course caution's already out at that point. Parkhurst looks to the inside of the 88 now. I don't think he's going to be able to make the pass. It's just so hard to keep the momentum when you're on the bottom. If somebody's on the top lane that knows how to run that top lane, it makes it very hard to pass. And for that reason, Cody Moore holds on to the top spot with 55 laps to go. We go back in the field a little bit. Tyler Smith. He's looking to the outside of the 62 now. Scott Ford Jr. This is going to be for 6th place. Tyler Smith going to be able to take that spot over. Cam Patterson made his way up into 8th place now. Taking the spot over Logan Fischischen that previous lap. Fischischen back to 9th. Fastest car on track that last lap was actually the 9 Frank Warner, right side of your screen there, in that blue and black Toyota Camry. Parkhurst still applying tons of pressure to Cody Moore here. Can Parkhurst get enough on the bottom to take this lead over? You see Moore getting into the wall. That surely is going to let the 04 take the lead, and he does cover up the spot. Mark Parkhurst finding himself in the lead once again. Cody Moore now under immediate pressure from the 08 Andy Lewis. Lewis not able to get side by side. 62, Scott Ford Jr. makes his way onto pit road. These drivers, I believe, will have to make 2 pit stops if this thing stays green. As this battle for the lead continues to be the thing to watch between Parkhurst, Moore, and Lewis. See some side-by-side action farther back. Cam Patterson, Tyler Smith battling. Patterson was in front across the stripe, but Smith was able to battle back, take the spot back for 6th place. You see the 08 Andy Lewis now on the outside of the 88 Cody Moore. This is going to be for 2nd place. Andy Lewis able to make that pass. Shane Fuller, though, in 4th, has been sneaking up on these guys ever so slowly. Fuller, the fastest on track the previous lap. He's on the move right now. So he makes his way to the inside of the 88. Looks like he's going to be able to make the pass fairly easily. Scott Ford, Christian Taylor have both come down pit road. Rick Wilmot, Logan Fish-Chisholm in pit road now. You see the 88 Cody Moore comes down. He's going to go ahead and get one of his 2 pit stops out of the way. Mark Parkhurst makes his way to pit road. That's going to allow the 08 Andy Lewis to take over the lead. Shane Fuller right on his tail, though. Looks like the 57 Shane Fuller going to make his way onto pit road this time, as well as the 10 Tony Osborne. Both coming onto pit road. Chris Bishop, Bill Sleep, David Mayo, Parkhurst, Cam Patterson, John McIntyre. All on pit road right now. That leaves Andy Lewis, Tyler Smith, Frank Warner. The last of the cars yet to pit. Again, if you're watching and I sound like a zombie, I do apologize. I'm absolutely exhausted right now, but I'm doing my best. $15 folks watching and hopefully enjoying this stream. Make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. If you want to go check out my personal YouTube channel, I believe that is linked down in the description as well. I post a video or 2 once every 9 to 12 months and then forget about it and don't post one again. It's a vicious cycle. Lewis, Smith, and Warner continuing to stay out. These guys are going to have to come down pit road here in the next lap or 2, or else they'll be running out of fuel. Warner actually side by side with the 23 Tyler Smith. He's going to take that second spot over, as they're going to try to stay out at least for one more lap. Looks like out of all the cars that have pit so far, it appears that everybody has taken 4 tires except for possibly Shane Fuller and Tony Osborne. Those two might have gone fuel only and or right side tires only. According to all my pre-race information, drivers were able to make it somewhere around 28 to 30 laps on fuel. Right now, your leader, Andy Lewis, he's made it 32 laps since his last pit stop, so he's surely coming in this time, and it looks like he will bring it down pit road. Tyler Smith has already come down. The 9, Frank Warner, he's going to stay out there and go ahead and lead a lap. And he's going to be your last man standing, last one to come down. Further pit stop here with 38 laps to go. As he brings it down, that's going to let the lead transfer to the 04 Mark Parkhurst one more time. Cody Moore hot on his tail, trying to chase him down. And with 36 laps to go across the stripe, we're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be back with you shortly here on the Donut Box Racing League's YouTube channel. If you were wondering, yes, I am still awake. As we've got 26 laps to go here in the Dealer's Choice 250. We tune back into the battle for second between Cam Patterson and Cody Moore. Of course, Cam Patterson having to bounce back from an early penalty from the previous race. 2-lap hold at the beginning of the race. He's been able to bounce back, finds himself in a tough battle for second place here with the 88 Cody Moore, Xfinity Series Season 1 champion. Patterson up to 3 wins on the season, Cody Moore with 1. Meanwhile, if we look out of the front end of Cody's car, you can see him way out there in the distance, the 04 Mark Parkhurst. He's been the guy to beat today. As the 88 makes his way onto pit road, getting a little sideways, he's going to be the first one. Cancel that. He's going to be the second one to make his final pit stop here in the race. Potentially the final pit stop anyhow. I don't know if anyone's saved a set of tires, but you got a bunch of guys on pit road. Andrew Lewis, Christian Taylor, David Mayo, Bill Sleep, John McIntyre, Cody Moore. On the pit road, the 04 Mark Parkhurst bringing it down now, as well as Rick Wilmot, Cam Patterson. You see farther back, Tony Osborne, Logan Fish-Tishin come down pit road here with 23 laps to go. Scott Ford Jr. inherits the lead. He'll be coming down any minute. He pit pretty early in the beginning of the final stage. He's got about a 29 lap run on these tires. Chris Bishop, Tyler Smith behind him coming down pit road. That leaves the only 2 cars yet to take their final stops to be the Storm Motorsports drivers of Scott Ford and Frank Warner. See Mark Parkhurst there in the 04. He's the first out of the cars that have taken their final stops to be able to unlap himself. 62, Scott Ford comes down pit road now. Frank Warner, he's only been about 17, 18 laps on this tank of fuel, so he still has somewhere around 10 to 12 laps left in the tank if he would like to stay out and hope that there is a yellow flag. Parkhurst, Patterson, Moore, and Fuller all able to get around him and get their laps back. Now Andy Lewis able to do the same. John McIntyre working on a bit of a late charge here. He's trying to get around the 08 of Andy Lewis to put himself into what would be a de facto 5th place, I believe. Frank Warner, though, still staying out on the track. Looked like we had some action there farther back. Not exactly 100% sure on what car that was. But somebody definitely got a little sideways farther back there. Thought it might have been the 42, but not positive. Everybody was able to keep it together, and we stay green. That's right on board with current race leader Frank Warner. As we're starting to get towards the tail end of this race here, after Frank Warner makes his final pit stop of the race, the lead will be taken over by the 04 Mark Parkhurst. Definitely been the class of the field tonight in the 04 car. But don't look too far back. You can see him there slightly on the right-hand side of your screen. But there's another pink and white Ford Mustang looking to play spoiler, and that's Cam Patterson in that 38 machine. Definitely been the championship favorite so far early in season 2. Already racking up 3 wins. And he's looking to find a way to gain some time here on the 04 and seeing if he can make this race finish interesting here with 13 laps to go. Scott Ford Jr. comes back down pit road. As we'll do a quick run through your standings. Frank Warner staying out on the track. He's still in your lead. Yet to make the final pit stop of the race. Mark Parkhurst in second. Cam Patterson third. Cody Moore and Shane Fuller round out the top 5. John McIntyre trying to work on taking that 5th spot from Fuller, but he's currently sitting in 6th with Christopher Bishop, Logan Feshishin, Andrew Lewis, and Tony Osborne rounding out your top 10. Tyler Smith, Bill Sleep, Christian Taylor, Rick Wilmot all being scored 1 lap down. Ben Madden and David Mayo 3 laps down. Scott Ford Jr. now 4 laps down. Frank Warner probably looking to run this tank dry, but he comes down pit road now. As previously stated, that's going to allow the 04 to take over the lead of this race. And he's got the 38 Cam Patterson about a second behind him right now. Not a threat at the moment, but if there's anyone that can close that gap as we get 10 laps to go here in the Dealer's Choice 250, it might be that 38 Cam Patterson. '88 Cody Moore is in 3rd. He's pretty much in no man's land right now. Got a fairly large gap on either side. Shane Fuller's been able to hold on to that 4th spot, and John McIntyre holding on to 5th. No real battles anywhere on the track at this moment. And with 8 to go across the stripe, the 04 Parkhurst is extending his lead over the 38 Cam Patterson. Was about half a tenth of a second faster the previous lap. Seven laps to go now. Patterson was able to gain about a second and a half on Parkhurst that last lap. This lap he gains another half a tenth of a second. I just don't think that that's going to be enough. If you're the 38 Cam Patterson and you're starting to run out of time to be able to get to Mark Parkhurst, but I guess also if I'm the 38, bouncing back from a 2-lap hold to finish second isn't too bad of a night. Every spot in your top 10 has about a second gap in between them. That's why we're staying focused here on our leader, Mark Parkhurst. Parkhurst in that 0-4 gained about half a tenth on the 38 that lap. And I think at this point it's his race to lose. I don't believe the 38 Cam Patterson has enough left in the tank to catch him. So if I'm the 0-4 right now, I'm just focused on some mistake-free racing. As he does have a pretty slow lap there. Patterson able to pick up a tenth and a half, but we've only got 3 laps to go here tonight. As across the stripe, Parkhurst will make this race 2 laps to go. Patterson once again losing a slight bit of time to the 04. Six corners left for the 0-4. Comes back on the straightaway, and the white flag's going to be out. 1 lap to go here in the Dealer's Choice 250. Patterson lost another tenth and a half. It's all up to the 0-4 now to just bring it home. Through turns 3 and 4. Coming across the stripe. Your winner from Las Vegas, the 0-4 of Mark Parkhurst. Cam Patterson bringing home second place. Cody Moore, Shane Fuller, third, fourth. John McIntyre brings home fifth. Sixth place goes to Christopher Bishop. Seventh to Logan Fish-Chisholm. Eighth place to Tony Osborne, and ninth to Andrew Lewis. Bill Sleep brings it home in 10th. Tyler Smith, 11th. Frank Warner in the 12th spot. Christian Taylor 13th, Rick Wilmot 14th, Ben Madden 15th, David Mayo 16th, Scott Ford Jr. 17th, and Justin Bell out of the race finishes 18th as Mark Parkhurst burns him down. Top 3, if you're watching or listening, make sure to stay in your car for the interview. And so we'll go ahead and talk to the 88, Mr. Cody Moore. Finishing third tonight. Last spot on the podium. Cody, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Winning stage 2 tonight. Bringing home a third place finish at the end. How's it feel?
A little disappointed, to be honest. I thought we had enough speed, but I screwed myself on the last pit stop. I mean, to be honest, I kind of knew when Cam got back on the lead lap at the end of the second stage that it was going to be pretty much Cam's race to lose. I'm really happy that Mark was able to hold him off. Hopefully they put on a good battle up there. I couldn't really see it from how far back I was. So
yeah, it ended up not being too close. Parkhurst was able to keep the lead at about a second. But, yep, Mark Parkhurst getting the win, Cam Patterson second. And you're that final step on the podium. You got any shout-outs you want to make tonight?
yeah, thank you to the admin team. You're all doing a great job of running this shit. Congratulations, Mark, getting his second win. Only the second multi-winner here. And yeah, hope to see y'all next week.
All righty. Thank you, Cody. And I'll go ahead and send you back down to your team.
Thank you.
All righty. That was the 88 Cody Moore there. Let's go ahead and find the 38, Mr. Cam Patterson. Bring him on up. Cam, it's Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you bounced back, serving a penalty at the start of the race, a 2-lap hold. You were able to just keep your nose to the grindstone, eventually get back on the lead lap, and you worked your way up to second within a second of the lead there at the end. How's it feel tonight?
I know a lot of people are getting mad at me, but I'm very disappointed, really. Like, to come back from a penalty and to get all my laps back just to drive up right behind the bumper of the winner is, for someone like me, it just sucks. But good points. I didn't get any stage points, but I got the good second place finishes, and yeah, I have standards for myself, and when I don't reach those standards, I you know, I get disappointed. But we'll bounce back next week. I don't know what next week is, but it's Halloween night. I may or may not be racing, and yeah, overall, it was a pretty fun night. It was fun racing.
Yeah, I believe next week is gonna be we're gonna do an all-star event for next.
Oh, okay.
Or wait, next week is gonna be Atlanta, and then Halloween weekend is after that. You're a week ahead of yourself, just like I was
Oh,
thinking
shoot,
we were.
you're right. Oh, my fault. Yeah, I'm not in my mindset right now. I'm not locked in.
You're good. Gotta get locked in, bro. But still a second place finish, second spot on the podium. Got any shout outs you want to make tonight before I send you back down?
Shout out to Cody Moore for, setting up this league. Good time. It was good to see him finish, I know he's been going through a rough time with iRacing and himself. I've been there before. It's happened to me so many times, but to see him keep coming back every Thursday and to keep racing and then to really show off what he's made of, it's awesome, I'd really hate to see him quit. And shout out to my teammate Logan. So obviously, I don't know why, but whenever I was disappointed in second, he's a little bit mad at me. So I guess we have our own standards, and he doesn't like mine towards myself, which is confusing. But yeah, shout out to him. He had a really good stage one. It sucks that it did not go out his way. He really deserved that top 5 or top 3, and I would have loved to see him win. Would have been a great battle. He has definitely had a better tire saving than I did throughout those first few laps. And yeah, shout out to you again for broadcasting. It's great to see you up in the booth as every Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm dog tired and exhausted right now, but I still managed to
Me too, man.
make it 167 laps with you guys and had fun along the way. But
Yeah.
congrats on the second place finish and strengthening, I'm sure, that points lead. And I'll go ahead and send you back down.
All right, thank you.
All right, and that leaves us one more person to interview. You see him right there, parked on the start finish. The only one to listen. Mark, you got a copy.
I gotcha.
Before we get into the official interview, I got to thank you for being the only freaking person to listen to me and staying in your car. Congratulations for that. And also, congratulations on bringing home the win. I talked to you after you won the poll, and you were feeling good. You finally got your tech issues fixed and behind you, and you come out swinging, bringing home the win. How's it feel?
Pretty good. I actually black screened through 3 and 4 on lap 4 there, so I'm just happy to be here, honestly. I thought I was not going to make it through the race. But I kind of tried to go on a different strategy than everybody else to try to maximize my stage points there, which I ended up, I think, with 19. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that was the most out of anybody today. And then had worked out my tire sets just right so I'd have enough to make it there to the end. And then it was drive for my life because Cam was starting to catch me.
Yeah, and you did a good job of holding him off at the end. It was like he'd be faster one lap, and then you'd come back and be faster, and it balanced out, and you managed to keep him a second behind you. And yeah, I believe you were. I imagine you. I don't know if you had any incidents, but I imagine you led the most laps. And if that's the case, you probably were just short winning the pole too. You were probably just short of 1 point from having a perfect points day. So definitely a really dominant performance from you here at Las Vegas.
Actually, 0 incidents. So yeah, that should be an extra point, I think.
Yeah, so just one stage point short of a perfect night for you in the 0-4. You got any shout outs you'd like to make tonight after the win?
Yeah, first I gotta shout you out for broadcasting, first of all. My teammates, all the team send it there. Everybody who came out and raced tonight. Everybody watching, if I got any friends watching, shout out to them. My mom might be watching as well.
Shout out to mom, man.
Yeah, now I am whooped after that one. I was just waiting for something to go wrong. After New Hampshire, after Indy, I couldn't even race last week. It was just 3 weeks in a row of heartbreak. I was just waiting for something to go wrong tonight, and I'm so glad I finally paid off.
Yeah, well, sometimes when you're expecting everything to go wrong, sometimes things just go right, and that's what happened tonight for you with that first place finish. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Hope to have many more of these.
All right, we'll be seeing you. That was the 0-4 there. Mr. Mark Parkhurst bringing home the W. And we're going to send you out with some music, and we'll go ahead and rewatch that last lap in the celebration there for the 0-4. Congrats to him on the win tonight. We'll be seeing you next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And again, I'm stupid, and I don't know if we're running Old Atlanta or New Atlanta, so you'll either see us for some draft racing or some good old-fashioned wall riding, tire eating racing. I'm down for either. So stay tuned. Come back next week. Hit that like button, subscribe button. And thank you for coming out and watching, and you guys have a good night.